Hey guys, how are you today? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to welcome you back to Crafts with Zia. Today we're going to make kind of like a potpourri, nice smelling little basket. So today's video is for adults and for mature children. Regardless of the child's age, I think parents should also give them a little watchful eye because we are going to deal with some pins today. A couple of things that you're going to need is a full-size, nice smelling bar of soap. You're going to need a box, a whole box of pins with flat heads on them. And you're going to need a very large amount of curling ribbon. Any color will do. The kind where if you put some tension on it, it will curl. And you're also going to need some scissors. So basically we're going to make a nice smelling basket that you could put around the house, and it's kind of like an air freshener. You could put it in a drawer, you could put it on the cabinets, and you'll see the finished product soon. Okay, so basically what you want to do is you want to open up your pins. And I should note that soaps come in different shapes. You want it to look kind of rectangle, and you see how this one has a curve on the bottom, or if you flip it over, it'd be the top. The less curve, the better for this project. But if you do have a curve, let it curve down. Look, this is Irish Spring. You can actually see they actually have the logo with the scoring of a rectangle. I'm going to follow that guideline, and I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. I'm going to just score the other side of my soap, and you can eyeball it with a rectangle. And I'm just doing that with the edge of my pin. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just got to look like a rectangle. And you don't want to go too much on the sides. Just like that. You want to leave enough space on the outside of the border. Okay? It's kind of in the middle. So we have this side and we have this side. Perfect. Now I'm going to take this side first. So on the rectangle, I am going to start putting pins in it, and I'm not going to shove the pin all the way in. I'm just going to pierce it enough where it's freestanding. I'm going to make the same amount of pins on the top as I would on the bottom, and the same amount of pins on the side as I would on this side. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. I'm going to put the same amount of pins from the top and the same amount of pins to the bottom and the same amount of pins to the side as well. So we're going to start with the bottom, and basically the way I can judge on if I'm doing this correctly is I go to the four corners first, like this. So I'm going to just do one side, and then I'm going to kind of fast forward and do the other side. So some progress. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins on the top, 6 pins on the bottom. And I am going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in the middle, not including the corners because I just counted that. And the way you want to do it is you want to space it evenly in between each other. And how do you do that? Well, I know I have to put 8 in here, right? So I'm going to put the 2 in the middle, and then I got 3 more to go. So I'm going to put 1 in here. And then I know that 1 goes on here. And then 1 goes on the other side. And then I know it's even. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to eyeball it. So I'm going to continue that and I'm going to show you the result in a minute. Okay, so as you can see, I have them even. I have the same amount of pins on this side than I do on this side, and the same amount of pins on this side that I do on this side. And they're evenly spaced out, and they're tough enough that if I touch them, they're not going to fall. They're deep enough inside the soap that they will not fall if I just touch them gently. I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so I finished my top and my bottom. Again, always remembering that you have to have the same amount on each side. This side and this side need to have the same amount of pins, and this side need to have the same amount of pins. You don't necessarily have to have the same amount on the other side. It just has to equal to the rectangle. So the same amount of pins on this side for this side, same amount of pins for this side to this side. Okay, so after that, we're going to start with our ribbon. So we're going to make a knot at the ends, and just a little tidbit for you guys. We are not going to we're not going to cut a piece of ribbon off the roller. We're going to leave it on the roller, and we're going to let it roll with us, okay? And there's a reason for that. It's going to be like a one-piece ribbon that goes all the way around the soap, and it's important to do to make sure you just keep it on the roller. Otherwise, you're going to have to fasten it, and it's going to take more time. All right, so leave it on the roller, and you're going to make a little knot at the edge. And basically what you're going to do is one of the pins, so remember I'm doing my curve down, so we're going to start from the top. One of my pins that I actually put in, I'm going to take out. It doesn't matter which one it is. I'm not going to start on the corner, so maybe the one next to the corner one. I'm going to just take it out, and I'm going to put it inside the knot here. And then I'm going to put it back in its place where it was. Just like that. Okay? So, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave the ribbon in between the pins from the bottom to the top, and I'm going to cover the entire side of the soap. So, I'm going to take my ribbon and go down, and whichever pin it hits, it doesn't matter if it's this one or this one, we're going to go around a couple of times where it's always going to cover the outside of the soap. So I'm going to go in, around, and I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to go to the same pin, up and around, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go to the same pin as I had again, but when I come back up, I'm going to go to the next pin. And then around, I'm going to go to the same pin, I'm going to go back up around, different pin, like that. And slowly but surely, you're going to go all the way around. When you get to the corner, you're going to do it twice. And there's a reason for that. The corners are not going to be so flush because it's a corner. So you're going to need more ribbon to cover the surface. I'm going to do this side first. And then when I get to the corner, I'll continue. So it's important that you don't pull too hard on the ribbon because then your pins will move. Just put them back into place if they do move, okay? So again, you're going to go around. You're going to go around the pin, up to the next pin. You're going to go down to the same pin, up, and you're going to go to the next pin. And slowly but surely, you're going to get to the other side. So I'm going to complete this side. When I get to the corner, I will show you what I'm going to do. Okay, guys, so I'm at the corner right here. As you can see, I completed the one side. Now see, if you let it go, it's going to unravel. That's why it's important that you hold on to it, okay? So as you can see, I'm at the corner here. I'm going to do the corner a couple of times. Same concept, you're going to go down and around. And I'm going to use the same pin, down and around, same pin, down and around, same pin. I did it 3 times. And then I'm going to go down and around the same pin, and then I'm going to go to the next one. When I come back up, I'm going to the next pin. This is the corner pin. I'm going to go back to, I'm at the corner pin on the bottom, and I'm going to do it a couple of times, the same one, the corner top and the corner bottom, going up and around, up and around, up and around, up and around. Okay? When I come back up the third time, I'm going to go to the second one. I'm going to come back down, corner pin. Go back up. I'm going to go back to the corner pin. Even though I moved on, I'm going back because I'm trying to fill in the corners. Does that make sense? I'm trying to fill the corner. And I'm going to create a lot of ribbon where I can move it over and cover the exposed soap. Okay, I'm going to continue this, and I'm going to go all the way around the entire soap. So as you can see, I have a little bit of exposed, but I have a lot of ribbon. If I just move the ribbon over, it covers the corner. See what I mean? So I'm going to continue and go all the way around the soap, and when I'm finished, I will show you what we do for the top. Okay, I'm just about finished with the sides. So as you can see, my corners, some of my corners have a little exposed soap. But as long as I have enough ribbon where if I slide it, I can cover the whole soap, I'm okay. We're going to go back with pins and pin it into place. So we just need to know that there's enough material to cover the corners of the soap, okay? So I am at the end here. And I am going to still not cut the ribbon. I'm still attached to my roller. I am going to go and work on one side at a time. So because my ribbon wants to go this way, I'm going to just flip my soap over. I'm going to go to the last thing, the last pin, and just go over. But instead of going down, I'm going to go across. Over, down, across. Over, down, across. I'm creating these little notches. And I'm going to do that 3 times. I'm going to go around once, make a layer. Continue, go around twice, make a layer. Continue 3 times, go around and make a layer. And this is going to create a nice little notch on the top of my basket. So again, still attached to the roller. I'm going to go across to the next pin, around it, and down. Go to the next pin, across, around, and down. Across. And the other pins might get in the way. Just be careful. And if you slide a pin out of place, just put it back into place. Okay, so I'm going to go around and down. Around. Around. And down. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. As you can see, I did my 1 layer of notches, and I'm going to do that 2 more times. So there's going to be 3 layers of notches on top. Use your other finger to help you navigate around the pins and make sure that the pins do not come out of place. And if they do, just put them back into place, okay? So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And once you get a rhythm, it'd be easy peasy. Here's my second layer. I'm going to go do my 3rd layer It's going to look like that there's not enough room for a third notch, but if you just push it down with your finger, you'll make room on the pin. So I'm about to do my third layer. Okay guys, as you can see, there's 3 layers of each, and I'm still attached here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to hold on to it. And basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to press each one of these pins very tightly down until these ribbons look like be careful with your fingers now. And this is the reason why you have to have flat heads, because it needs to hold the ribbon. Some pins come with little balls on top. That's okay too. That's extra decoration. So basically I'm going to push down all the pins as far as they'll go, evenly across. And I just created this little border. See? So I'm still attached. I am going to go down to the other side, flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Remember, this is the notches, so we're going around, over to the next one, down. Around, over to the next one, down. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing, 3 layers. Down, around to the next one, over, down. Over to the next one, and down. Creating these little notches. Over, down, around. Over, down, around. Over, down, around. Okay, so I just finished my 3rd layer on the top, and I'm still attached, guys, still attached to the ribbon roller, still attached. I'm just pulling it and I'm using it, pulling it and using it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the bottom. I am going to start pressing the pins down as far as I can, and don't hurt yourself, because even though there's a flat top, they still kind of pinch a little bit when you press them. All right. And the ribbon will come with it. Kind of tightens the ledge here. Okay, still attached, guys, still attached. So I'm going to go back one more time to the other side. And I'm going to finally hold it, make a cut. I'm finally attached to, separated from my roller, okay? I don't want to let this go yet. Okay, so basically I want to go back into one of the pins, into the middle, and I'm holding it with my finger, as you can see. I'm holding it with my finger. And I'm going to take a separate pin, and I am going to pin it all the way down into the soap, all the way down. Like that. It's holding it into place. Okay, so remember, okay guys, so as you can see, both sides are done. We have the ribbon on the side, and we have the 3 notches on the top of each side. I started the video saying that I wanted the curve down. You know what, it kind of looks cute with the curve up, so I'm going to just turn it over. Either way, it's the same thing. Alright, so the next thing is, well, what about the sides here, right? I said that we were going to go back and we're going to fix the sides. So the way we do that is we're actually going to make a median of pins that are going to have the same concept of this, but it's going to be on the side. So basically, where the soap meets here on the edge is where I'm going to line up my pins. I'm going to have more pins in the corners than I am going to be on the sides. And when I pin the corners, I'm going to move the ribbon to make sure that the corners are not exposed anymore. The soap corners are not exposed anymore. So I just moved this ribbon over with the pin, and I pinned it on the ledge, as you can see, in order to cover the corner. And I'm going to do the same thing with the neighboring ribbon. See, this one keeps moving. I'm just going to move it over, and I'm going to pin it. Okay, we want it to be straight. I'm trying to look at the camera while I do this. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to move it over, and I'm going to pin it, and do the same thing with this one. And this is the reason why the corners, you're going to have more ribbon. See, and just like that, I covered the entire corner. There's no soap exposed at all, and I have 4 pins in place. And we're just going to leave it just like that. Maybe I just move that over a little bit. No soap exposed. There's like ribbon underneath the other ribbon, so you want to make sure that you slide it apart, and that way it covers the entire corner, because the corners are going to be difficult. The soap is going to want to be exposed on the corner. So this is what the pins are going to look like, and you're just going to leave them just like that. And I'm going to go all the way around and do all the corners and all the sides. So even though the sides are not exposed, I am going to put a couple of pins evenly like this, and I'm going to go back to the corner, and I'm going to do the same thing to this corner. I'm going to move the ribbon over to make sure that I have no soap exposed. And you're going to take the neighboring ribbons and do the same thing to the corner. I find it easier to do the corners first. That way you know how much you're working with, and then do the actual sides. See, I could just move it with my finger. Move it all the way to the corner. And sometimes there's ribbon underneath the other ribbon, so make sure you know how much ribbon you have to work with. It's a matter of playing with it to make sure nothing is exposed. All right, so I got all my pins in place. I did the corners first to make sure that I moved the ribbon over to make sure there's no exposed soap. And basically this is what it looks like, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my ribbon and I'm gonna start the same way. I'm gonna make a knot like I did last time. Okay guys, so I'm gonna do the same thing as I did last time. I'm gonna start with the ribbon again and I'm gonna make a knot. And this time I'm gonna take one of the side, doesn't matter which one, I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna put it inside the knot like this, and I'm gonna put it back in its place. Okay, just like we started up here, remember? So with that, I'm going to do the same thing, the same aspect as what we did for on top of here. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna go around the next pin, around, down, across the next pin, down, around the next pin, down, around the next pin, like this. Around the next pin, down, over to the next one, around the next pin, down, around, down, around, down, around, down. And I'm gonna go all the way around and I'm gonna do 3 layers. And again, once you find your rhythm, it's gonna go quickly. Okay, so I have my 3 layers on all sides and I still have my ribbon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my ribbon, I'm gonna do the same thing as I did before. I'm gonna go back up here and I'm gonna cut a little piece off here, okay? And I'm gonna go inside the pins, just in between, tightly. And I'm gonna take another pin and fasten it in place. And if this hurts your fingers, you could use a scissor or a pencil, the ends of a pencil eraser. Fasten it in place. And you're gonna say, well, what's up with this? We're gonna cover this in a minute. So basically, we still have these kind of elongated. We're gonna press them just a little bit. We're not gonna press them too far down. We want to have the elegance of the knotting of the ribbon kind of exposed. So just a little bit. And we're evenly going across just a little bit like that. I'm going to go all the way around. Okay, so we have a nice even this one's sticking out a little bit. I'm just gonna push it in. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So as you can see, everything is covered. And whether you flip it this way or flip it this way, it looks like a little basket. Okay, next we're gonna make the handle. And basically what you need to do is, you're gonna make a braid. So you're gonna take 3 pieces of ribbon, same size. Okay, you're gonna make a knot on one side. Tie them all together in one knot. Okay, and at this time you can either tape this down just for some friction, or you can do it freehand. And basically what you want to do is you want to make a braid. Okay, so you're going to go one over, take the middle one, take the outside, go into the middle, Take the outside ribbon, go into the middle. So basically you're going to tape the knotted ends to the table, and then you're going to braid it as you would braid it as you would hair. You're going to alternate each ribbon to go into the middle. So basically you're going to make it long enough, and you're going to judge by doing this. And that looks long enough to me. So I'm going to just make a knot at the ends over here, and then I'm going to release it from the table. So here I have my braided ribbon, knot on one side, knot on the other side. I'm going to cut the excess off here after the knot. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm making a little handle. And if you made it too long, that's okay. You're going to tuck in the rest. So basically you want a little bit of handle. So I'm going to tuck in the excess, and then where I want the handle to be, I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin it down. Does that make sense? I'm going to fasten it this way. And again, you're going to see all this excess in here. We're going to cover this, so don't worry about it. So I am going to just tuck it in a little bit more. And I'm going to take a pin, and I'm going to, and I can use a couple of pins because remember it's a braid, so there's a couple of different ribbons kind of separating there. So I'm going to put in a couple of pins, and I'm going to fasten it all the way down into the soap. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Again, I'm going to tuck it in and just leave a little bit of a hoop. And then I'm going to take a couple of pins and pin it down all the way to the soap. Take another pin. And remember that we have some excess ribbon in here. We can cut it, or we can hide it. And we're gonna put some curling ribbon inside here. So don't worry about having excess inside the middle. Let me just put a couple more here. And basically what we want to do is we want to be able to pick it up. We want to be able to pick it up without any issues or any pins falling. Again, you want to secure it all the way down to the soap. If you're having trouble, use the end of a pencil with an eraser or the end of a scissor, just so we can fasten the pins all the way down flush to the soap. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we're almost done. As you can see, it looks like a little basket. And we do have a little excess in here, and that's okay. We're going to hide it. So basically, the next step we want to do is we want to take a couple of pieces of ribbon. It doesn't have to be the same size, but you want them long enough that you're going to curl them. All right. Some long, some short. And basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of collect them a little bit in the middle. I'm going to make like a little bunch. And then I'm going to curl. I'm going to curl each ribbon. And I'm going to follow. You see how the ribbon wants to go down? I'm going to actually put my scissor on the part that wants to go down. And I'm going to just take my finger and press it and curl it. Can you see that? It's curled. And I'm doing each one the same way. I'm going to take it. Let me see if I can, maybe you need to see it separately. So if I take it like this, the ribbon wants to go down, so I want to put my scissor underneath. I want to put it underneath. I don't want to curl it this way. I want to curl it this way. And I'm put my finger on the blade of the scissor, and I'm going to put some tension on it, and then I'm going to slowly, and it's going to curl the ribbon. If I do it to the other side too, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, and I'm going to do each one of these, leaving kind of the middle uncurled. I don't want to take it from the end and curl it like this, because then I only have a little spot to work with. I want to do it from the middle. So I'm going to put my fingers in the middle. I'm going to curl it this way, turn it over, and curl it this way. and do the same thing with the other one. Perfect. Now I'm going to take all my curls, and basically I am going to fasten them inside this little inside of the basket, and I'm going to hide the excess stuff that we have, the pins, the excess ribbon from the handle, and so on and so forth. So basically, just to conserve some pins, I'm going to double them up a little bit and fasten them with one pin. Or you can do individual pins. Again, the pins are going to be hidden, so it doesn't. If you did it one at a time, you could do that too. If I did it one at a time, I would do it this way. Okay, or I can double it up the way I said. Take another pin, go into the middle. Fasten it that way. And you want to press it all the way down flush. Okay. You could take a couple more ribbons. Hey, Max. And again, doubling it up. Taking another pin and just fastening it. Okay, perfect. So you can play with the ribbon, the curls. Sometimes, you know, don't want to cooperate, kind of like your hair. So you can cut them, you can stuff them more if you want to. And basically you have a little potpourri basket. You have a little potpourri basket that you can put in your bathroom. You can give it as a gift. You could put it in your drawer. And it took a little bit of work, but you guys did great. Please post your pictures on your crafts. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me some feedback and some comments. Let me know what other projects you want to see. Have a great night.